It's 3 a.m. Your chest is heavy, your mind is looping. The ceiling stares back, and the question slips out. Am I depressed? Do I have the symptoms? It feels responsible, self-aware, proactive, perhaps. But this question can quietly steer you down a path that keeps you stuck and focused on depression. Not because asking is wrong, but because of where it leads you next, straight to a label. The diagnosis is correct, but the treatment is often limited. And once that label sticks, and you have depression, it can quietly become your identity. That's where the real danger begins and the label stays. The symptoms are real. Heaviness in your body, brain fog, unmotivated, numbness, joy that's gone completely flat. Around 1 in 7 Australians experience depression at some point. Your colleague on Zoom, the parent at school drop-off, a relative, you. But here's the crucial difference most people miss. Depression is not the problem. It's the symptom of something that started long before the exhaustion. When you search, "Am I depressed?" you start hunting for a box that says, "This is what's wrong with me," because you might find relief from the discomfort. And once you find that box, you stop asking the deeper questions, the ones that actually lead you to the somewhere you need to go to. Am I depressed? Quietly becomes I am depressed. One is a state. The other becomes an ongoing story you live inside. 3 types of people get stuck here. Firstly, the fighter who pushes harder. They read books and listen to podcasts. The heaviness doesn't lift. They keep doing. Some burn out. Then the resigned says, "This is just who I am. It's in my genes," and lowers expectations. Shapes their whole life around those beliefs. Alternatively, the denier who smiles at work, cracks jokes, looks out for others, tells you it's just stress and lack of sleep. But inside, they're numb, irritable, exhausted. None of these are wrong. They're human survival mechanisms. Smart adaptations built over years, but they all avoid the real questions. So what's actually creating the depression? Almost always it traces back to unresolved emotional wounds and outdated beliefs, often undetected. Feeling unseen as a child, a critical parent, having to be the strong one, hot and cold caregiving, not feeling valued, unexpressed anger. I'm not enough. Betrayal, loss, or simply never being allowed to feel your feelings fully. These wounds don't disappear on their own. Coping strategies develop instead. Pushing anger down, numbing out, people-pleasing, self-denial, whatever keeps the discomfort at bay. Over time, resilience chips away. Parts of you shut down to protect you from feeling out of control, and your brain's factory is producing stress chemicals. The result? The exact symptoms that get labeled as depression. This isn't weakness or a fault. It's your system doing its job, as designed. Research backs this up. People with childhood emotional abuse histories are 2.78 times more likely to develop adult depression. Even loving parents mess up. You're not broken. Your system did exactly what it was designed to do: survive. Now it's time for more than surviving beyond Band-Aid therapy. So if "Am I depressed?" is the wrong question, what should be asked instead? These other questions shift everything. Try these. What did you have to suppress to feel safe growing up? Whose role was it to nurture you that didn't happen in a healthy way? What happened to me? What beliefs did you form about yourself that you're still carrying? What coping strategies are now costing you your life? These questions shift focus from managing depression to understanding and healing what's actually driving it. We don't ask to blame, we ask to understand. What's wrong with me? One is a dead end. What happened to me and how can I heal it? Is a doorway. Depression doesn't just affect you. It ripples outward. Partners feel you've changed. Kids sense the emotional distance. Friends pull back. Work suffers. Choose your therapy wisely and avoid temporary relief that doesn't get to what's underneath. Symptom therapy, and only to return to depression again. Healing the emotional wounds doesn't just lift the fog. It reprograms and rebuilds, giving you the capacity to show up fully for yourself and in relationships. The approach that creates lasting change goes directly to the subconscious mind, where those unresolved parts live. Removing unhealthy triggers and reactions. Significant, lasting shifts within a small number of sessions. Putting color back in your life where now there's only gray. Smiles replacing sadness. Energy returns, not force, but genuine. Mental clarity replaces the fog. Joy stops feeling like a distant memory. The future is brighter and relationships heal. Depression is a bunch of symptoms, not your identity, not your true self. And symptoms, when the emotional wounds are addressed, dissipate quietly and easily. Freedom starts with asking better questions. Book a free 45-minute rapport session at zestquest.com.au and start a conversation.